But can you imagine such things? So these people, there's actually some Bowers in here, which were his sister's children and nephews. And Peter Sells, Peter, that's the other brother. Boy, it comes right out. He's actually buried in Green Lawn. He wasn't moved here for whatever reason. He is actually, if you go into their mausoleum, if you're standing in front of their mausoleum, his stone is to the right. It's a very large stone with like an acorn thing on top. And it has the P and the S in it, which would have been it was actually the insignia for the circus. And I say at some point I'd like to have that put underneath the Mary statue in there. Right. But anyway, so as you can see, there are a lot of famous people that are entombed here. This place, all the people that were here in Columbus loved Columbus and they wanted to stay here. And so when I come in here, I think of all the great people and all the great things that they've done for us, and the very little we've done for them. I cannot believe that the city of Columbus or anybody in general would allow this to happen to such a beautiful monument. So this is my plea for you guys to, we have lots of things we want to do. We want to build gardens and all that, but for the sake of the people who are here and their memory, if nothing else, support us. Come back and see our programs. Great Gatsby, It's a Lawn Party was a blast last year. We had the dancers come and they really brought it to life. That's one of the reasons why you look around and see the pictures, because otherwise these are just dead people. They don't mean anything to anybody because they're just a name on the wall. But once you know their stories and you know who these people are and what they did for us, then you realize the importance of saving such a monument as this. So come back and support us. Thank you for coming today.
Yeah, when they dress up as the characters.
Oh, and our October, Tales from the Crypt.
You want to come for that one because they dress up as the people, and there's a guy that plays the magician, Thurston, and he does some of his magic tricks.
Yep. That's in October. It's usually around Halloween weekend. We have Tales from the Crypt. It's the 29th, and it's a ton of fun. We get lots of people are actors, and they portray people that are here. I've done Herb Penny. Last year I was just the MC, but I did Herb Penny for 2 years, and that was a lot of fun. If you are interested in getting involved, we always need volunteers. If you see we have to come in and sweep the floors and dust the ledges and put up flags, and we like actors, we like people to sing and dance and do whatever you like to do. So if you'd like to become involved with volunteering, sign up. Let us know. Does anybody have any questions? I might be able to answer them.
What about the windows? I was just curious.
The windows, the number now escapes me. The good thing is most of the windows up here are still intact, except for the ones in the main foyer, which were mostly damaged. The interesting thing about that is people would break in, and all the damage that was done to the windows were done from the inside, as opposed to the outside. The good thing about windows is they're very visual, and they'll be easy to replace, because we have pictures of them, and lots of people are willing to donate to something like that, because you can put a little plaque under that says, generously restored by the Gardening Club of Upper Arlington. It's easy, but getting the money to fix the roof was hard work, because nobody sees the roof.
Nobody sees the roof, yeah.
So there's little things. I say little things like that. The windows are the last of our worries, really, because they'll just fall into place.
But now these, let me ask you, these bricks here, were these replaced? Were they windows at one time?
Those were windows at one time.
Windows at one time.
And that was through the years, it was a cemetery association. The Columbus Cemetery Association was a group of people that all banded together to build this, and one by one they died off and were buried here. And then it was left basically to the grandson of someone who was, he had very little money to take care of the place, and so he did the best he could. When people would break in and do things, the best he thought he could do was to brick it up to keep the people out.
Right.
So that was why we kind of stepped in, because we wanted people like you to be able to come in and to see how beautiful it is and to realize how important it is. Not to just let it keep declining to the point where the city finally says, let's tear that eyesore down, because we definitely don't want that. You know, I mean,
That would be a
that
tragedy.
would be a tragedy. It really
Would
would.
be a tragedy.
Yeah, have any of you been out to Union Cemetery? Amaranth Abbey was built by the same company as this, but that abbey is tiny compared to this.
Yes.
There's almost 500 people entombed here.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it's like 542. I think is the
Jeez.
number. And we know that people are here. When we first started, we had kind of a system. What we'd like to do is actually X-ray or whatever to make sure that the caskets are where they're supposed to be. But when we started, what we did was we'd lift them up, those up a little bit, and stick a little coat hanger under there to make sure there's a seal.
Yeah.
Like if you see that one, that's actually the seal. We have the faceplate, but that means that there's an entombment there. Because if there wasn't a seal, there wouldn't be a body. But so everybody that's here is here. So if we have the name, then they're here. And if you notice on those people, the Inglis's were actually moved. The family was in such a state as to the state of this building that they didn't want their family in a place like that, so they actually had them moved. I think at some point, hopefully, they will feel that we've done a nice enough job that we hope that they'll bring them back. And that sounds like a silly thing, but you know, that would be, to me, that would be our crowning achievement, is that they would say, they've done a good enough job that we're gonna put them back where they belong. So,
Thank you.
you're welcome. If there's any other questions, feel free to look around as long as you like. You're welcome.